Today, I'm sitting with Kelso. Kelso, what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
I'm in the Navy, so I haven't really done any cool Navy stuff yet. I've been in school for the past year and a half. I'm a Navy nuke, so I assist in operating the nuclear reactors that run some of our ships. I'm a mechanic, so I'm in the engine room. My brother's also a nuke in the Navy. He's an electrician. But for the past year and a half, I've just been doing, it's like a year of school, and then you get 6 months of actual hands-on stuff before they send you out to the fleet. You have to learn it all, prove to someone that you learn it, and qualify. That's what they call it.
What are some things you're going to do?
It's a lot of it's classified, right? But
Okay.
honestly, it sounds a lot cooler than it is when I say that. But I work in the engine room, so I'm just down there making sure the boat's able to move, make sure it doesn't break. I'm going to be on a carrier. I'm going to be over in Bremerton here soon. That's where I'm transferring to. That's why I'm in the area, because I'm currently on transfer leave. So, I'm going to go be on a carrier working in the engine room.
How does a nuclear reactor work? With the ship?
That's the one question I can't answer.
Really?
Yeah, dude. That's the most confidential thing.
Oh, class. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's classified.
Yeah. Well, we can't have other countries stealing our stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what was it like to go from high school to straight to boot camp Navy lifestyle?
I had that kind of year off because so I graduated and I spent the entire summer here and I shipped out in November. It's definitely changing, especially coming from small town North Idaho. You show up in boot camp and there's people from all walks of life. There are people who join the Navy to get citizenship here, right? So it was like a culture shock almost was the best way I could describe it. Definitely opens your eyes, but at the same time, it's boot camp's kind of like prison, you know?
Yeah.
So I got jacked in boot camp. Dude. I was you do nothing but work out, eat, and sleep. So I put on 15 pounds.
Nice, dog.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Who were some of the people you met in boot camp? Some weird characters.
Oh, man, I forget his name, but I only know his first name, which is weird because we'd never go by first names. But his name's Evan. That was my rack mate, dude. He was a great dude. We had so every day you have to wake up and make your rack, and then they occasionally test you on it, how fast you can make your bed and stuff. And we were always partners, dude. We would get that stuff done so quick. We were homies. There's a lot of Hispanic people in the Navy. There's also a lot of Filipino people. I knew this guy named David. He was from the Philippines. This dude was a flight attendant. He could speak 6 languages.
That's crazy, dog.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. There's a lot of cool people. But boot camp was only 2 months, and you're there for the Navy. You're not there for meeting people. So there's not a whole lot of stories that I have. I was the laundry guy. I did everybody's laundry. Yeah.
Is that fun?
It was nice. I got to take naps in the back, which is a no bueno. But I did it.
Why the Navy?
So like I said, my brother was in the Navy. I graduated high school, or probably around my junior year. I took the SAT and I scored really well, and I took the ASVAB and I scored really well. But you remember junior year, I was not living with my parents because they moved down to Texas, which we can probably get into soon. But I just realized that I have poor parents; they can't pay for college. I don't know what kind of degree I want to get. Probably something in engineering, but I'm not sure. So I can't afford that. That's a lot of money. I got accepted to one college, which was the U of I, and I kind of just decided that I didn't want the debt, and the Navy was probably the best option to get out of small town Sandpoint and actually go start doing something. I made pretty good money, I've been in South Carolina for the past year and a half doing some pretty cool stuff. So
got a nice new car.
Yeah, it was a good little decision.
Yeah.
And it's definitely set my life up for the next 6 years. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So you don't regret it at all?
It sucks.
Yeah.
I can barely keep in contact with people back home. It's me and my mom talk over text, but it's a whole conversation might take 4 days because I'm working while she's sleeping and she's working while I'm sleeping. So we just send a text back and forth every chance we get, So it's definitely hard. And then not being in a relationship as well changes stuff. If you're going to do something like that, so the new program is probably, with the exception of the SEALs, obviously, it's very different. But the nuke program is the most difficult school the military has to offer. So
totally.
There's a lot of people that don't make it through. And it's definitely not easy. You have to have something to look forward to. And that was coming back here for a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, like you're the time you get to go on your phone, you're just seeing all these people like having a great time, partying,
Yeah, the
blah
other
blah
people in
blah,
college, bro. Man, I'm jealous.
and you're like over there folding laundry. You know, I feel the same way, dog. It's like I want to go out and party and shit and like flipping burgers. You know.
And do what you got to do.
Uh huh.
These people that party and stuff, they're either going to college off of daddy's money or they're going to be broke in 4 years. So,
That's true. That's true.
be successful where you can.
Yeah. So, what was your childhood like?
It's a very odd question, or not odd. It's difficult to answer, I should say. We were poor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like my biological father left when I was, like before I was born, and then came back in my life for a little bit, and then left again. But I've had a stepdad since I was like 2, so I've always had a dad.
Mm-hmm.
My stepdad's pretty great. Lived in a house of 6, me, 3 other siblings, 2 parents, and then a stepsister who was like half custody, so she'd come over about half the time. And then, yeah, so we moved around a lot. It's pretty much always been in North Idaho, but we moved around a lot. We went from Post Falls to Coeur d'Alene. I spent some time in Spokane for a little bit, and then we moved up to Sandpoint, and that's where I finally got to like stay here for elementary and middle school and stuff. And we still moved around. It was just around town.
Mm-hmm.
My stepdad worked a lot, constantly doing snowplow and stuff, so that was like 20-hour days he'd be putting in. And then at one point he went to North Dakota to go build condos, so he was gone for a little bit. But it's definitely not easy. You grow up with a mom that has like crippling anxiety, and then you're also stupid poor, and you have a older brother who's constantly out of the house, and then sisters that like bully you almost, and you can't do anything about it because they're your sisters. It's like pretty lame, but it's annoying to deal with that. But yeah, just went to school, did my thing.
What does your dad do? Where is he?
Which one? My stepdad?
Your real dad.
Oh, I have no idea. He probably lives with his mom in St. Louis.
Uh huh.
You want to know what he did, though?
What do you do?
Oh, hell of a story. So he left before I was, and when he left, so basically he met my mom on a dating app, and he's done this to like plenty of women. He met my mom on a dating app, and then made her fall like head over heels, gets her pregnant. He didn't to my mom, but he usually convinces them to quit their job. He goes online, opens up a bunch of credit cards in their name, pulls off the money off them, and then leaves them with no job and a kid. Yeah, so I have a stupid amount of siblings that I've never met before. And then, yeah, he did that, and then, I guess he liked me because I was like the only kid he kind of came back and stuck around a little bit for, but he still ended up leaving. And when I was 8, he left again, like pretty much for good. And then my mom shows me a newspaper one day, and she's like, "Hey, do you recognize this guy?" And I was too young to like read the headline and know what's going on. I just saw a picture. I was like, "Oh, that's my dad. He wears those pants and those sunglasses." And then she calls the police and is like, "Hey, I know who robbed that bank. It was Michael Kent, right?"
Whoa.
Yeah. So he robbed like 3 banks in the course of 9 months or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But it was like a Chase bank for $3,000. He just walked in and handed him a note and was like, "I have a gun. Give me money." Like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
And then I was the one that ratted on him.
That's some poetic justice right there.
Right, dude? It's pretty funny. And so when they finally busted him for the robberies and they found him hiding in a closet at his girlfriend's house, girlfriend at the time, because, he had like a million.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out that, he robbed these other 2 banks as well. And they ended up hitting him with like 20 counts of fraud because when they interviewed my mom, she's like, yeah, he made me go bankrupt and I had to sell my house.
Yeah.
And all these other women are like, he did the same thing to me, right? So like, I have a picture of him, like his mugshot's fucking hilarious. But do you run up a cuss? Sorry.
Oh, you can say
Okay.
whatever the fuck you want, dog.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I kind of ratted on my dad, 3-time bank robber, 20 plus counts of fraud. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That's a good story. Right
My
there,
stepdad's
dog.
my stepdad's a landscaper. That was pretty boring. He just
Yeah.
mows lawns and plows.
How has your real dad being that affected you?
It was difficult for a little bit. Like when I was younger, I had like a lot of mood instability and stuff. I went to therapy and stuff, but it doesn't really affect me on the day to day. I don't think about it very often.
I mean,
it's just like
People pretty successful.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me, and it's just like I have this cool story to tell. You want to know how my dad was a bank robber?
Yeah, dude, that's a good
you
story.
know. But yeah, it doesn't really affect me. I know I have a few siblings that I still talk to that I've never met, but I talk to them. Like I have a niece and her mom, my sister Savannah, is still pretty fucked up about it. So it affects people in different ways. It doesn't really affect me because had a stable home to grow up in for the most part. Just difficult being poor.
Yeah.
So.
And what about your mom being super anxious, as you said?
Well, she never really had so when I was a kid, she worked as a pharmacy tech, which is pretty good money. You just count pills and stuff. And you're in the medical field, so you make pretty good money. But she didn't stick at that job. She kind of got too much for her, and then she couldn't recertify because she hadn't been in the practice for a little bit. So she worked at like JCPenney and shit. It's like when you have a mom working literally a minimum wage job, and then your dad's putting 20 plus hours of work for some landscaping company that's not paying him enough, really throws things off. But yeah, her anxiety and stuff just was awful. I've never seen someone addicted to the news, but my mom definitely is. That's weird. Yeah, she watches the news and she just freaks out about it.
Sounds like my grandma.
Yeah, dude, it's a struggle. And then eventually it became too much. Like I think they got in a fight or something one day, and my mom just left. And we're like, yo, what the fuck, dude? Where's mom? My dad's like, I don't know. Here's $20. Go to fucking Burger Express. Go get dinner. We're like, okay. And later that night we get a phone call, and she's like, hey, I'm at the airport. And we're like, why are you at the airport? She's like, I'm flying down to Texas. It's like, well, that's a pretty bad idea.
Yeah.
We're kind of poor. You shouldn't really buy a flight. She's like, no, Grandpa Don's paying for me. And then she comes back like a week later. She's like, we're moving to Texas. I'm 15 and pretty cocky. I'm like, that's a terrible idea. I really shouldn't move to Texas. And then my mom being liberal and being in a red state and then moving to an even more red state, that was just not a good idea. I called that shit too. I was like, give it 2 years and you'll be back in Idaho. Sure shit, 2 years later they fucking moved back. But so they moved to Texas, and I was like, nah, fuck that, dude. And I dipped out. I got a house, got a roommate, got a job working at Super One. Sold some pot on the side to make some spending money. And did that.
What was it like to live on your own and be in high school and juggle, with the school, job?
It makes you mature a lot faster, that's for sure. But I definitely didn't mature very fast. I threw several parties. Like I said, I was selling pot,
I was there.
Yeah, it was a good time. 2 bottle Burnett's is $40. So that'll get like 5 people pretty fucking drunk for a night. So, I paid rent and stuff. I biked like 8 miles to work every day during the summer, and then when it was the winter, that's not really an option. So I had Darlene come pick me up, but she worked on the mountain and she'd come home drunk all the time. So I was like almost in a drunk car accident twice a week.
Yeah.
Living on my own, it's just eye opening. You realize what being an adult really is. Like, you have these bills. I have to pay my phone bill. I have to pay people for gas when they give me rides because I don't have a car. But if I did have a car, I'd have to pay my car payment and insurance. And I realized this in the matter of 6 months. You're like, holy shit, it's pretty awful. And at the same time, you're going to high school. Like, dude, I gotta learn pre-calculus.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not ready for getting a credit card.
Yeah, dude, totally not. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
How do you think that has made you, all of that combined? How's that made you today?
Definitely just more mature of a person. Hell of an experience too. I don't rely on people nearly as much because I've already done it by myself. So I'm a very independent person because of that. I think it helped me grow a lot, which is good. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, that's for sure. But I think it was necessary at the time, and I'm grateful for that opportunity.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I don't know. Hopefully happy.
Hopefully happy.
Yeah. So, when you get out of the Navy, especially with my job in the Navy, you have a lot of career options post-Navy. So I'm probably just going to save up a bunch of money while I'm here, get a house, and then go to college because the Navy's going to pay for that. So at the same time, I'm going to a house, right? I'm going to live in a house. I'm going to have a mortgage payment. It's cheaper than rent, and I own the place. I'm going to have roommates and stuff, whatever, maybe have a wife and a kid by then. I don't know. That's 6 years from now. But and go to college and get a degree and then work some fucking white-collar job because I've been blue-collar. It sucks. Work some white-collar job, make good money, and then just be that suburban dude.
Do you want to be that?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Totally?
That's the life. Suburban dude? Dude.
Dad bod, grilling?
I don't know about the dad bod, but yeah, grilling it up. Just suburban dude, man.
What makes you happy?
That's a very odd question because it's like, I don't know anymore. It's been a year and a half of literally just work and sleep. It's like, I work 12-hour days and I go home and I sleep. And I have a commute, so I'm driving, and then I'm like on the phone, send a text to somebody, talk to somebody, watch a YouTube video or something, and go to sleep. And then it's just like that. And then on the weekends, you just sleep more and you don't work. But on the weekends and you're in the Navy, you're getting shit-faced drunk. So we threw hell of a parties.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you live in we called it the frat house. We had a whole like frat logo and everything, the four of us, Navy dudes just living in a house. Alpha Sigma Nu. Epsilon Sigma Nu, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we threw some pretty hefty ragers. But yeah, honestly, I've lost myself in a sense. Like I don't know what makes me happy anymore. I guess playing games. I don't read books. Yeah. Oh, cars. Cars make me happy.
Cars make you happy.
Cars make me happy.
Because you don't, I mean, just not trying to be mean, but you don't sound very happy where you are.
Dude, it's definitely not a good time. Like, if you have no other option, join the Navy. But if you have other options, don't join the fucking Navy.
But you had plenty of options, I feel like.
I mean, plenty of options that would have resulted in debt.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just didn't want to pay back that debt because I took personal finance in high school, and I was like, dude, that is not the move.
Mm-hmm.
So, didn't bite for it. Didn't go for it.
What do you struggle with the most?
Probably loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Not seeing family, being single for a year and a half. But like, what sucks about being in the Navy is you're in the Navy, so you're doing Navy stuff, so you don't have time for personal stuff.
Yeah.
So like, you don't have time to go out and meet people hardly. I'm on Tinder. I haven't met a single girl off of Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten plenty of matches, but it's just like, I'm too busy working. It's like when your weekends switch from a Monday, Tuesday to Thursday, Friday. That doesn't line up with anybody else's schedule, So it's just finding time to be with other people because it's very solitary. Even though you're working with people constantly, it's like it's almost very solitary.
It's not the same.
It's really not. Yeah, I mean, it's like you don't want to go home and hang out with people you met from work. Maybe you have two good work friends, but your work people are your work people and your home people are your home people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very difficult to combine the two when you have no other option. So yeah, that's probably the hardest thing.
How do you see yourself achieving happiness?
Getting out of the Navy, dude.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like I've thought about it, and 20 years probably would be a good benefit. Maybe if I got a good command and I enjoyed what I did.
Mm-hmm.
But getting out of the Navy and then just doing my own thing. But that's 6 years from now, and I'm re-enlisting too, so it's not the end of the world. It's just like I'm never gonna be truly happy while I'm government property.
You're kind of you're making an investment into your future self.
Exactly.
Like right now, you're going to bite the bullet and be like, all right, I'm going to put my head down. Yeah, I'm going to be a little sad every now and then. But in 6 years, when I don't have debt, I have all these things that I accomplished, I can look back and be like, thank you, Kelso. That was so nice of you to do that.
Exactly. Suffering to succeed. That's exactly what the military is. And it sucks, but, it is what it is.
It won't last forever.
Exactly. That's what people don't realize. Everybody gets down in a dip and they're like, this sucks. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, you're not government property. So,
what does being government property mean to you?
If I get a tattoo without telling anybody and then they find out about it, I can literally get charged with defacement of government property.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah. If they tell me to do anything, like they're like, brush your teeth every day, and then they find out that I didn't do it, they can hit me with an Article 92, failure to comply with a order. Yeah. I mean, something like that's ridiculous, but honestly, they can tell me to do anything. If I don't do it, they can it's called non-judicial punishment, where they're charging you with a crime essentially, but you're not going to court. You're just going in front of your captain, and your captain tells you what your punishment is.
What are some punishments that you can get from that?
I've never gotten any, but if you heard some of the stories, it's ridiculous.
Like what?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Oh yeah, this one's kind of funny though. Some dude. So I joined the Navy right in the midst of COVID, so we got locked down at base. This dude drove to Alabama from South Carolina, and they didn't find out for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back, and they're like, where have you been? And he's just like, I was just out in town at a hotel. And they're like, you can't go out in town at a hotel. We're locked down at base right now. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Then it comes out later that he went to Alabama, and he got separated from the Navy for that.
Wow.
So it's like, not only did he mess up, but then he lied about it. And that's the biggest thing. Even in classic punishment, if you mess up and you lie about it, it makes it a lot worse. For my charge, I could have gotten charged with a felony distribution on federal property, but I got hit with a misdemeanor possession, and I got my possession of paraphernalia dropped just because I was honest about it. I was just like, yeah, I fucked up, dude. My bad.
Wait, what happened?
I sold pot at school,
Oh,
and they got us on camera. Officer Spencer put up a GoPro like 30 minutes before.
yeah.
In like just the right spot. If we had literally walked 10 feet in any direction and I'd hand him that baggie, we wouldn't have ever been found.
Yeah.
But I fucked up. Like just perfectly fucked up.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah, we got pulled in the office and I ended up with a drug charge. Year of probation got shortened down to like 7 months. So,
Do you think that was supposed to happen?
no. Well, I really hope it didn't. You know, it kind of just messed. It doesn't really benefit me at all.
Uh-huh.
It didn't change me as a person. It kind of just messed with my whole. Like, I wanted to be a CT in the Navy. I didn't want to be a nuke. I wanted to go work on computers and learn foreign languages and spy on people. You know, I wanted to Facebook stalk Al Qaeda.
Okay.
But now I'm stuck here being a nuke.
Yeah. So they won't let you do that just because of that one charge?
Yeah, so I can get a secret clearance, but I can't get a top secret clearance because of that drug charge. So top secret is required for a CT.
That's crazy.
You don't need a top secret to be a nuke. And every command I change to, they pull up my person record. And they're like, oh, he has a drug charge that he told the Navy about. And I get pulled to an office every single time I transfer commands. And they're like, don't smoke pot. I'm like, I know. I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. And that was so long ago, especially like when you're only, 15 at the time?
I was 14, yeah.
14. Like,
Yeah.
why does that matter to them?
Yeah, I fucked up and it's going to follow me forever because I was a stupid kid. And that's what I tell them all the time. I'm just like, yeah, I was just a stupid kid, dude. Just fucked up.
That's crazy. I don't like that.
I kind of fucked over Jordan, too.
Yeah. But he's not in the military, you know?
Yeah.
So he doesn't, doesn't have to worry about it that much.
And he can also get it expunged. I think, I don't even think it follows him anymore because he's no longer a minor. I think that like case just get closed and they can't really like see it. They just see that he got a minor infraction.
Yeah, but since you're in the military, like everything you've ever done.
If I had joined the military when I was 18, I would have been fine. But I signed the paper when I was 17.
Wow.
So when I was still a minor, it was still affecting me. So I still had to tell him about it. That's where I fucked up.
Can you do anything about it?
I could probably go talk to Navy lawyers and get it like fully expunged. But like I said, I was 14, so it's probably not even trackable now. They're just going to see it. I messed up when I was a kid. I did something. They can't see exactly what.
But if you want to be a CT,
it's too late for that now. No, if you get a job in the Navy, you can't go up.
So, Kelso, I got to ask you this. I'm going to ask you the podcast questions.
Oh, I've heard this one.
Okay, so why is there birth?
I don't know, dude. So I'm a very scientific person,
Yeah.
and I don't really have a good answer for that because it just fucking happens.
Are you still an atheist?
I mean, I used to preach like atheism, but I was just fucking young and dumb. I just wanted to piss off all the Christian people. But I'm agnostic, you know. If I get undeniable proof, I'm gonna have to change my mind.
What kind of proof would you need?
I don't know. Jesus himself floating in front of me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it doesn't make any sense. Like people say they talk to God, but it's like, did they? You know, how do they know that? Are they just a crazy person? They got schizophrenia. What's up with this dude? Why is he chosen?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy works at Applebee's. Fuck this guy. You know. And then also I just don't like the idea of churches.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that massive church? That guy bought like a $325,000 Ferrari. Churches aren't taxed. They keep all the money. I hate that shit. So I'm just not a fan of religion in general. But you know, I think it's cool. I think the universe is massive. I'm really into space and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't agree that there's not other intelligent life. And that we were the chosen ones. You know, God, it's like God was so interactive all those years ago, and then he just stopped,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And we've still been reading the same book for 10,000 years or 5,000 years or whatever, however long they say the Earth's been alive. But I just think science is true whether or not you believe in it. Shout out Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's a quote from him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why birth is. I think it's just a way for species to grow. It's like evolution, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's born with something different. I think once you get into society, it's not really effective. But like millions of years, you see evolution of species. I think that's why birth occurs. It's trying to just adapt.
So then, why are you special?
Literally no reason at all.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I'm special at all. You know, I'm just some kid who's good at math,
Yeah.
joining the Navy, about to go be a suburban dude.
It's suburban, dude. I love
That's
that.
a Kodak Black
That's
quote.
okay.
I'm a suburban dude.
I like that. That's so funny. So then how come all that leads to death? Why is there death?
you got to make room for new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, life expectancy has gone up so much, but look at all the old fucks we have in Congress. I'm not a very political person. I just think that they're too old, you know?
Yeah, totally.
It's like the president we just elected is in his 70s.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. George Washington was president, probably like 30s or 40s.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it doesn't make any sense to have all these old people making the rules for the new people. There's a lot more new people than there's old people. People keep dying. So
That's true.
you got to make room for the new.
That's a good point.
That's why I think death is the thing.
What's after death?
I don't know. I hope it's cool.
You hope it's cool?
Yeah, maybe it's just like some stupid long LSD trip until you get reborn. I'd like to believe in reincarnation. That sounds.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be a flower. You know.
Uh-huh.
God, that would suck. You're
Being a
just
flower
like,
would be fun.
sun, photosynthesis, and then someone cuts you, and you're like, fuck.
What would you want to be if you were reincarnated?
Probably capybara.
What's that?
That's a cool little animal.
What is it? I've never heard of that.
You never heard of capybara?
No.
I'll pull the picture for you. Capybara is like the cutest little thing you're ever gonna see, dude.
I'm thinking of like a red panda. Is it close to that?
Kind of.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if I'm spelling this right. Oh yeah, I found it. Capybara. Look at that. Just a little mammal, dude. You know? Look at that.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Just a little capybara. they just do their thing, you know?
I'll totally put that in the description. That's so
dude.
funny.
It's like this guy's in the Navy. All he wants to do is die and be reborn as a capybara. That's the whole description. That's all you need.
So do you think that there's a point to existence and experience?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. So it's like it's hard to find a purpose. I'm not going to be the one that defines a purpose. You know, there's enlightened people like Buddha. They probably know something or something else. Get Buddha on the podcast. Get Buddha out here. He's got some stuff to say. But I just think, you know, you experience and you just live it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do what you got to do. Roll with it. Make it through.
Mm-hmm.
Be successful, or die in a car accident. You know, whatever your purpose, if there's a purpose, is just deal with it. Just go with it.
So what do you think consciousness is?
That's incredible. I never thought about that one. That's hard.
I
don't know. Because that's a difficult question.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, because like not saying like this is what you're saying, but like that kind of thing you are saying is like with a machine, like my laptop right here, it does its job and eventually it'll stop doing its job. But like for us, since we're conscious and we know that we're doing a job and we know that we're here to do something or not do anything, we can just change it like that. Unlike my laptop that doesn't have consciousness, it's going to do what I tell it to do. But at the same time, how do we know that there's not someone telling us what to do, but we think that it's just ourselves thinking that, right?
And there's like different levels of consciousness too. It's like capybara.
Yeah.
Little capybara, all he knows is eat, shit, fucking die. You know? He's got 4 steps to his life and he's just got to do each of them.
We don't know that though. Maybe he knows something more than
super
we do.
Intelligent species. Capybara. I get reborn as a capybara and I'm just like, man, so glad I chose this.
Well, yeah, you know, it's like the smartest, like mushrooms, right? Mushrooms have been around since the big dawn of time, and like, you know, they don't get into wars. They don't put themselves at the front of the line in the wars, right? Quote unquote wars. You know, they've been around for so long because they live in plain sight almost. Same thing as a capybara, just kind of just hanging out, chilling.
Dude, capybaras are dope.
And like turtles, right? Turtles been around for a long ass time because they just chill.
And they're old as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
turtles are a long time.
Totally, they just like hang out and chill. They're not worried about meeting the insurance quota and getting the 401k.
Gotta qualify in the Navy as a nuclear operator. Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's a life. If reincarnation is true, I swear, if I put back as another person, I'm gonna be pissed. Like if I'm reborn as another person, I'm gonna be livid. You just forget all of your past lives and you're just reborn as another person. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure the squirrel that died and turned into me is just raging in the background right now. He's very upset.
He's like sitting over there on that tree and he's like, motherfucker.
No, he's dead.
Yeah.
It's spirit squirrel watching over his new spirit as me. He's just pissed. It's like, why not turn him in person? Fuck that.
Do you believe in karma?
I kind of do.
I
kind of do. It's just like coincidentally and stuff, you know? I don't really have a good example, but yeah, it's like I fuck up and then something fucks me up later that day and I'm like, oh shit. But I do something good. Like I left a fat tip Oh, I forgot. I had it on my tongue and I forgot. Leave good tips. I always tip well. I tip like 35 to 60% depending on the
That's pretty
service
good.
because I have the money to, you
Yeah.
know. So I just do it. I'm making someone else's day. I'm helping them pay rent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Freddie
Yeah.
working over at Starbucks.
Good guy.
Yeah, his whole crew was back there just busting out coffees, and I came in for one. I was like, dude, this whole team's working real good. Dropped the 50 in that tip jar. My coffee was like $6, bro.
No, that's good. That's some G shit right there. I totally am like I'm not like super rich or anything, but when I'm older, when I'm super rich, successful, obviously I'm gonna tip fat because I get it, you know?
You were there, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And like service people, they have a difficult job,
Mhm.
and it's hard to be a people person all the time. You come into work and you deal with some stuff. You shouldn't reflect that on your customers, but it happens. So even if someone's mean, maybe I don't tip them the 35% that I'm talking about. I just give them 20, but I'm still gonna give them a standard tip because it's just good. Maybe they dealt with a Karen.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago. Now they're gonna come over and wait on my table. I'm not gonna be rude. I'm just gonna be like, "Can I get a water? I forgot my ketchup. That's okay. I'll get it next time."
Well, you ever heard of like the 4 agreements?
No, what is that?
It's so like it's like four things you should do to live your life the best you can, and they're don't make assumptions, and don't.
Oh, I'm real bad about that. I overthink everything.
There you go, right? And with the Karen thing, this my waitress just came up to me and she's a bitch, but maybe her dad just died, right?
Facts.
We don't know that. And when you make assumptions, it kind of ruins your perspective on, not that, it's just, you just don't ever know something. You just never know. So don't, making assumptions can ruin something that wasn't even that to begin with. And that's the same thing as the second one almost. I don't know them to a T, but it's the second one is don't jump to conclusions. Right? If a girl's texting you and she stops texting you and you're like, well, fuck, she hates me. I'm ugly. I'm stupid. I'm never going to be anything.
That's exactly what I did this morning.
There you go. Maybe her
don't
dad
tag me
died.
like that.
I
I hope her dad didn't die. I've known
But
this chick since freshman year, bro.
I'm just saying, you don't know. You have no idea. And then the third one is be impeccable with your word. If, you're going to say something, you're going to do it. If you're going to lie to yourself and lie to others, that's not in existence. You're not a good person. If you can lie to yourself, you're I don't know how to say it, but it's if you lie to yourself, you're just not, you're not real. You're not a good person.
I'm really good about that. I don't lie to myself. I'm a little self-centered. I think I'm a little cooler than I maybe am. I'm a materialistic person, very much so. I drive a nice car. I wear Ray-Bans, But I like to think I don't lie to myself. I'm very true to myself and true to other people. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you such a good time, baby. We're going to go out and do a lot of cool stuff. It's like, nah, dude. Honestly, best date idea, find a chick who wears sweatpants.
Yeah.
And then just watch fucking movies.
Yeah.
So that I have the excuse to do nothing and spend that time with someone else. I'm not going to lie to you. Fuck that.
Totally. Well, with that, I mean, kind of what you just said is the fourth one is just do your best.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Just at the end of the day, when the clock's ticking, you got the UV in your arm, chemo didn't work, whatever, blah, blah, blah. If you can just look back on your life and did all of those things, but the fourth one, most importantly, is just you did your best, go into quote unquote heaven, in my opinion.
That's how I've been successful in the jobs I've worked at. So Super One, I worked there for a year, and I just did a really good job. I put in effort every day, and they notice that because the other baggers and stuff, they just bag groceries and go home. I'm here to. I'm doing 6 different jobs that Super One can offer for different wages out in one day. I'm helping the managers do manager stuff. Yeah. And then I worked little odd jobs for different people around because I lived with Wendy. I lived with the teacher my senior year. Yeah. So I was afforded the opportunity to just do whatever I wanted for a whole year. I got my license. I was able to drive and stuff. I just chill. I took AP Stats, bro. At the same time I was taking calculus. Oh, no, I took Stats junior year. I was taking calculus. Mm-hmm. So I was just able to just do my thing. I did not do my best in school. That's a lie. I did not do my best in school. I passed math, so it was easy. But I failed English. I think 3 to 4 years because English is all effort. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then you join the Navy, and it's what sucks about the military though is they expect you to do your best, so you don't get noticed if you do, even though nobody does their best. Mm-hmm. So you have to overachieve by a long shot if you want to get noticed. But if you underachieve, you just fly under the radar. Yeah. And if you just do the average work, you fly under the radar. It's like your goal almost in the military, unless you want to stay in for 20 years. If you're just like in the military to get your college paid for, which is what I'm doing, get a little bit of money out of it, you know, just fly under the radar. Just be the average Joe. Don't get in trouble. Just do your thing. So I agree very much with do your best. That's going to get you very far in life.
Totally. I feel like a lot of people our age make excuses.
They do.
I heard this quote the other day. It was like, there is a rise of the most deadliest disease to affect mankind, and it's not COVID. It's excuses and distractions.
I'm really bad about distraction. Oh, I'm really bad at excuses too. It's like I needed to change my oil in my car, but I wanted my sister to do it, so I was constantly trying to find out when she was off work, because she's never done that. I wanted to teach her how.
Yeah.
But I kept driving up to Sandpoint, so even though I'm like constantly like stressing about my car needing an oil change because I just drove it 3,000 miles up here. Awful drive, by the way.
That's a little different, though. I mean, like, you're not being lazy about it.
But I could have tried to change the oil whenever. I could have just put it on jack stands.
Yeah.
Got underneath the car and changed the oil, which I ended up doing eventually because I'm just like, all right, I need to do this. I can't wait anymore.
But you wanted to train your teach your sister.
She doesn't need to know that, dude. AutoZone is a thing. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I didn't need that. I just found an excuse and I used it for like 2 weeks and eventually it changed my oil, you know.
Yeah, totally. You're justifying your laziness instead of just being lazy.
Exactly.
You're justifying it.
Which is dangerous because that will just be revolving. It won't stop.
So what are you going to go to college for?
I don't know, something engineering. I was also just like maybe even automotive, like mechanical engineering, like cars and shit. I was thinking about owning a mechanic shop, which is blue collar, but it's also white collar because I own the business, you know.
But at the same time, like, you know, that's what's going to make you happy.
Owning a business is huge. They never teach you that in school. Like, they're like, owning a business, you know. And then you see all these, like, business majors and stuff that are, like, very unsuccessful. But I'm going to have that college paid for, so whether I get a business degree or not, you know, it's whatever. But owning a business is huge. It's like not necessarily passive income because you have to put in effort to get stuff out. But, like, you own a business, you get to pass that down to kids. You, like, have a worth. You're like, I'm worth this business. You know, it's really cool. I've discovered, like, people who own businesses are generally just like cool fucking people. They're very successful because they did a good job of the business, and that's why their business is doing well.
Like the guy that lets me use his office space. He's a pretty cool guy. I like him. He's got a good story.
And that Ben guy, episode 8.
Yeah.
That was a good episode.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
like that one. I actually know Jeff over from the Hive. I'm not going to say how. That's a little touchy subject, but I know Jeff. He gave me a ride to work one day in his Porsche.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, okay.
He's a pretty cool dude.
Maybe I got to get him on the podcast then. Sounds like it, huh?
Hell of a dude.
What do you think deja vu is?
Oh, I heard you talking about this. I don't know. So deja vu is really weird for me because I also suffer from flash association and flash disassociation.
What's that?
It's like you're just doing it until it hits you that you're doing it, and you're just like, I'm in this space right now doing this thing. How did I get here? Almost. It's like weird, but like and then you like think about it for a second. You're like, okay, yeah, I had very clear steps to like. I walked into the building and I sat down and I ordered food, and that's why I'm here eating this right now. But like in that moment, just that one split second. I just created a new word, splecant.
I like it.
You're just like boom, and your brain like shuts off and then turns back on. It's like a hard reset, and you're just like, yo, I'm here right now. But to get flash association, you have to get flash dissociation. So like I will literally be driving, and I will just go brain numb, and it scares me because I don't realize until literally like a mile down the road I get flash association. I'm just like, I do not remember what cars I passed or anything that happened. I don't know what the speed limit is right now. Like it's kind of scary. It's kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Flash association. So I think deja vu is like a flash reassociation weird thing. It's just like your brain has a weird, you know. It's also how memories work though. So memories are like your brain sends a signal in the same way that it did when you associated that memory, so you just like replay that signal in your brain. So I think if you do that on accident, your brain thinks it's a memory and does its thing. It's just like, oh, this is a memory, except you're doing it. That's weird. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So I think it kind of just triggers a weird thing in your brain sometimes.
That's interesting. That's very, like you said, you're very scientific. Where does that flash association come from? What does that stem from?
I have no idea. I have literally no. I just like I looked it up and I was like, yeah, that's what I have. It's like deja vu, but half of deja vu.
You just have had that your whole life?
Yeah, it just happens.
Huh. When's the last time it happened?
driving.
To like today, or
I don't know.
you don't even know?
You don't even remember when it happens though, because it's not something that's like,
Yeah.
it just happens.
It's kind of like you're still like your body's still going, but your brain kind of just shuts off.
Yeah, you just go mind numb, and it happens when I overthink a lot too. So I'll be like thinking of something, or like that's why I can't text and drive. I physically cannot text and drive.
Neither should
because
you.
What?
I said neither should you.
I know I shouldn't, but like if I like need to send out this text, like stay there, I'll be there in 5 minutes or something like that. Like I have to type one word at a time and keep looking at the road because I'm just so bad about. I look at my phone for 2 seconds and I look back at the road and I don't know how long I've been looking at my phone for.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy you say that because I've known you for a while and it's like I remember looking at you in high school and I'm like, damn, that's some smart motherfucker. He's gonna go work on nukes and shit. That's crazy. And I mean,
not nukes. It's not bombs. Everybody thinks I work on bombs, bro. I don't. They don't realize that half of the ships in our fleet are nuclear powered.
Yeah. So what do you do that you can say that's not classified? Anything?
It's very difficult because everything that I've learned is technically classified in one way or another. The easiest way to say it is it's not a secret that the Navy ships are run by reactors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the way so if I'm just talking generally nuclear reactors, civilian side, just making power, it's a steam plant, right? So the reactor gets hot and it makes water hot, and then it makes steam, and steam spins turbines.
Okay.
So I'm responsible for all of that piping in between.
Okay.
From the reactor making steam coming out, the steam going through the stuff, and then going back. All of that piping, every component in between it, everything that deals with the mechanical operations of the ship to make the ship move or make sure that our turbine generators are moving so we have power, which is what the civilian reactors, they don't have like engines, right? So they don't need to move. They don't have propellers that they're moving. So I'm responsible of the engine room in the ship. Every piece of equipment in there, all the pumps, all the turbines, all the piping, valve lineups, making sure everything's operating correctly, noticing if something is operating incorrectly, turning it off. So if I pump one pump that's making a weird noise, you turn it off and you turn the other one on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fix that pump. And that's my entire job. I clean valves, I operate valves, and I operate pumps, and I fix pumps, and I fix stuff, and I walk around for several hours at a time, and I just look at numbers on walls.
Is it fun?
It's awful learning about it, but the last 6 months of like actually doing some hands-on work and like actually working with a real reactor that has steam that could kill me at any minute. It's pretty cool. You're just like, oh my God, this thing I've been learning for the past year, I'm actually doing now.
Yeah. Totally.
So you go into some part of the ship, some part of the engine room, and you see something, you're like, I learned about that. I know what that does. I know exactly how that works and exactly what could go wrong with it.
Yeah.
And if something were to go wrong, I couldn't fix it because I've never done it before. But I know where to find the book to tell me about it.
Yeah. What would happen if it went wrong?
That depends.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a steam line rupture, I'm dead, bro.
Yeah.
If steam is entering the engine room, everybody's dead.
Is it just because it's steam, or is it because it's nuclear steam?
It's not nuclear steam. It's just steam. But, you imagine this. So what's atmospheric pressure? It's like 15 PSI, right?
Yes, because I would know.
So, just like that's what you breathe in and stuff. That's just the pressure of the atmosphere. It's like 15 PSI, right?
Uh-huh.
This steam is currently at like a lot.
A lot.
I was about to say a number, but I can't.
Uh-huh.
It's very high pressure steam, and it's extremely hot. It's well past the boiling point. And if that pipe ruptures and that steam's entering the engine room, you're in an enclosed space. It's already hot enough as it is.
Mm-hmm.
You have this super hot, super pressurized steam entering the engine room, and there's honestly probably no way to stop it. So you do your best to stop it, but you're going to die. You have like a few minutes to live.
Could you run out, like escape somehow?
If you open a door to get out, now you're just letting steam get out and follow you and kill other people on the way there.
So you gotta make that sacrifice.
So you hunker down and you die. Then you do your best to put the plant in a safe condition on your way out.
That's crazy, dog.
Never happened.
Uh-huh.
It's never happened before, but it could.
Yeah,
and that's pretty scary.
That's why you learn. That's why you're smart.
That's why there's a year and a half of schooling, because it's extremely dangerous.
Totally. What do you think about nuclear power as an alternative source of energy?
Send it, dude.
For the future.
No other power is as good. I'm honest to God.
Mm-hmm.
Coal, we only have so much of it. Oil, we only have so much of it. Wind and solar, you need massive arrays of solar panels, and you need fields and fields of wind turbines to do the work that a nuclear reactor could do.
Yeah.
A nuclear reactor the size of this room could power this city 3 times over.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
There's no better source of power, honest to God. And people are always just like, oh, but what about the waste it produces? Well, that's recyclable. We can reuse that waste.
Yeah.
And honestly, you bury that waste in the ground, and it hurts nothing. It does nothing.
Because the Earth is radioactive.
That's what I'm saying. Radon's everywhere. I mean, radon isn't very dangerous because it's just alphas, but
Well, like it's like right now it's radioactive. Like
yeah,
technically
you're
it
getting
is.
cosmic rays and stuff. Honestly,
Yeah.
so if you look at someone who's been on a submarine on deployment in the last 6 months, they just went on a 6-month deployment. They've been in the engine room right next to the reactor on a submarine underwater. They come back up, and you do like an internal dose test of their radiation. Someone who's in the Navy working on that reactor, and you take a dose test of just a person who's been working a 9 to 5 for the last 6 months. That person has received more radiation than the Navy guy.
Wow.
Because that's how safe we are. And that's how safe it's possible to be. That reactor will not let out any radiation at all.
Mm-hmm.
You go on a flight and you get more radiation than I will in my entire nuclear career.
That's crazy. I like flying. So
that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of radiation on flights. That's why they don't like pregnant people to take a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Very dangerous.
And so with the future being nuclear power, how do we overcome the fear of Chernobyl happening again and the other one?
Have you watched the Chernobyl documentary?
Probably not the same
You
one.
have to.
Okay.
You really got to do your research. So
Mm-hmm.
people see, like Chernobyl, that was a major accident. It was fallout that went all the way to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, oh, Fukushima, that's messed up. You had a whole core meltdown.
Yeah.
You had several cores meltdown, like 2, I think. It's like it's incredibly dangerous. It killed a lot of people, and it did. It killed a lot of people. However, if you look into what their designs were, flawed.
Yeah.
When Fukushima went out, the first thing they did is sent nuclear navy. They sent us nukes, ELTs, over there to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first thing they did. That's Japan, and we were the first people to arrive to fix that because we knew how, and we operate the safest nuclear plants in the world. And Chernobyl had a major design flaw. Their way of stopping the core from going over power caused it to power higher.
Mm.
Major design flaw. They had a moderator as their stopper. It's really you have to understand the terms and lingos that I'm using, but just do your research, bro.
Yeah.
Like watch the documentaries and stuff. Like that should not have happened. The people who designed that reactor were honestly to God retarded. Like there's no you can't.
Yeah.
It's hard to mess up that bad.
Totally. So just a question that I don't even know, and like I'm just curious. So like I know Chernobyl isn't habitable, but what about the other place? Do people live there now?
Fukushima? So I think Chernobyl and Fukushima are still very radioactive, and
Yeah.
they have people that like volunteer. They get paid like a really good money, but they're probably going to get cancer.
Of
but
course.
yeah, they still go to those reactors and they still work. They have to make sure that nothing bad happens. Still, it's like when a building burns down, they don't just put the fire out and be like, "Cool, we're done, go home." Like they have people in the fire trucks wait there for a long time until they know for sure that the fire is not going to start back up.
Yeah.
Same thing with nuclear reactors. You have a major accident. You have people that are waiting there, making sure nothing's going to go bad again.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's going to happen twice.
What do you think about the military and nuclear bombs and the future of that?
That's dumb. That's a horrible use of uranium.
Yeah.
You're like wiping out entire cities, dude. Like that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You're causing fallout that go for miles. You're like not only like so the people that are near the bomb are dead on impact, and it's a lot of people dead. It's like a stupid amount. But the people that are a little bit further away that maybe don't die immediately suffer from cancer, dude. Like it's like the worst way to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolute worst. Radiation sickness, like your skin falls off. It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we have nuclear bombs, but so does North Korea, and so does Russia and China. And so now we're in this constant dick-sizing war, of, who's going to throw their bombs first?
Mm.
And if you throw bombs, I'm going to throw bombs. Well, that's just guaranteed destruction of both countries.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's so dumb. I think world peace should have happened a long time ago, but there's just slight differences that people take too far.
Yeah. You should really listen to Bill's episode because he was a Vietnam vet. And we talked about the same subject.
Did Bill come and talk to us in high school? in Connor Bransky's class.
Oh no, not that guy. I want to
Okay.
interview that
Dude,
guy.
Ghost, was that his name?
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
that guy's super cool.
You got any alien or ghost stories?
I have one ghost story. It's not very cool.
Let's hear it.
So I'm like just absolutely demolished, just stoned, right? I'm like fucking super baked. And that's why it's not a very good story.
Okay.
But I'm eating this cake. I was at my brother Evan's house. He's not really my brother. He's like kind of like a brother. I've known him since I was 12 or so, and he lived with us for about a year. And me and him are very similar. I take a lot of liking to him, so I consider him a brother. So I'm at his house, and his grandpa made a cake for us, just because he knew we were high. He made a cake. It's a yellow cake, but instead of frosting, there's chocolate pudding on top. Dude, this is the most bustingest cake I've ever had. So I'm literally, like them giant serving spoons. It's literally in the cake pan, and I'm just spooning this cake out and eating it. I ate like half of this fucking cake, but I'm like a third the way through it, and I look to my left, and there's a window in the kitchen, but it's like one of those windows where like, like the bottom of the window is right at ground level because the house is kind of in the dirt a little bit, like in the ground. So it was like that, but there were people standing in the window. Like I only saw the upper half of their body.
Whoa.
It was an old couple. It was like, like the pitchfork, like old farmer couple. It's kind of like that.
That's scary.
And I was just like, it is currently 1 a.m. and I'm eating this cake super high, and I'm seeing people in the windows, dude.
These motherfuckers want my cake.
Yeah, but I wasn't freaking out. I was just like, that's very awkward. I grabbed another bite of cake, and I ran upstairs, and I told Evan, I'm like, Evan, dude, weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
I just saw an old couple in the window. And he's just like, was it BJ and Stacia? Because that's his grandparents. That he's with. I'm like, no. They're in bed. It's 1 a.m. He's like, I know. That's why it's weird. I'm like, I'm just down there eating a cake, and I see these ghost people looking at me, and that's kind of awkward, bro. And he's like, oh, yeah, the house is haunted. That's the old couple here. I'm like, oh, so you know them? And he's just like, I mean, yeah, they just kind of chill out and look at us and stuff. So,
what do you think?
So I went back down there and finished eating the cake, and I didn't see him again. But
how do you think drugs and alcohol has affected your life? With you, your family members, just anything?
Should have put in more effort in school, but I was too busy getting stoned.
I feel that.
Recently, drinking and stuff, and being in high school drinking and stuff, probably could have used my time better. But I have some cool stories, you know. I don't think it really affects me. I'm not going to go full-blown alcoholic. So yeah, it's a poor utilization of time. But it is good to get your mind off stuff. I overthink everything. I said that before, but like I'm really bad about getting in my head. When I get drunk, I'm just like interactive and doing stuff, and I'm not thinking about anything. Then I pass out on the bathroom floor. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time, but the next day is pretty shitty. I don't think it really affects me in any certain way. I could probably, maybe I do use it to get away from my problems. I could probably address that better, but I've been depressed before. It sucks, but I kind of just flipped the switch in my brain and said I'm not going to be sad anymore.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of suicide?
Not really.
Okay.
Just like, you get down in the dumps. Sometimes you're just like, what if I just die? And then you're just like, well, that would hurt a lot of people, and it would hurt me. I wouldn't be here anymore. I'd like to see where I could go in the next 20 years. If I end it now, that's not going to be, like, I'm 20 now, dude. Like, if I fucking committed suicide when I was 14 and depressed, fucking last 6 years would have been nothing. I never would have never would have met Wendy. That's a tongue twister. Wouldn't have seen my brother be successful. He's now engaged. Wouldn't have seen my sisters grow up. Wouldn't have seen my parents get back on their feet. Wouldn't have joined the Navy and met all these cool people I've met. Wouldn't be here on this podcast today. You gotta just let things roll out. You can't end something soon.
Yeah, you just never know. You just never know what's around the corner, literally and figuratively. And
it could be a good fucking time.
It could be a good time, and it could be a shitty time.
You get shit-faced drunk and have a story for the rest of your life.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Life is all about the experience, all about the goods and the bads, because it's yin and yang. You can't have bad without the good, because you don't know what good is without the bad.
Facts. You don't miss something until you don't have it.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
When my family went to Texas, and I was just like, oh, I'm on my fucking own now. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. My mom still pisses me off a lot. She really knows how to push my buttons. Just like, I'll be driving in the car and she'll be like, slow down. But my car doesn't have the oh shit handle because it's the fucking Z. And there's only 2 seats. So there's no crutch depth. I mean, if we get in an accident, we're both losing both our kneecaps. But she's like, slow down. I'm like, do you have a steering wheel in front of you? Do you have a brake pedal? Was this a driver's ed car? No, shut up, sit down. I know what I'm doing. But oh yeah, distance is a hard goal finder. That's right. So but when I see my mom again, I'm like, oh shit, dude, like that's my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stay mad at her. I love her. It pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
And then that time away where I was living on my own, and the time away where I've been in the Navy, I come back and I see all these friends, and I'm just like, dude, it's been a fat minute. Just get a coffee, talk about shit.
What has it been like to come back?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, dude. I went to RTC up in Recruit Training Command. That was boot camp for 2 months in Illinois. And it's like the same kind of cold as it is here, but it's different. I don't know how to explain it, but that shit bites. Like it bites up here, but like Illinois winter is different. And then literally the day I graduated boot camp, it started dumping snow, just absolutely dumping. So my flight got delayed. And I never really saw much of Illinois because I was in boot camp. But like I also went to South Carolina. That's where I've been for the last year and a half. And I was never a huge fan of the South. I visited Texas, but living in South Carolina, like the sunsets are beautiful. It's like there's no mountain to stop the sunset early, so the sun literally sets into the horizon, and then you have the full rainbow from like the deepest red right at the sun all the way until purple 180 degrees behind you. It's like the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen. However, it's also 80 degrees at midnight there and like 40% humidity. I do not want to live there ever, dude. Like it's like you walk out of your air-conditioned house, and you're nice and cold, and then you hit the 100-degree weather, and it's humid, and everything condenses onto you, and like your clothes are wet. It's like you just took a shower. It's awful. But I've seen some pretty cool shit. I've been some pretty cool places. I don't like the ocean. It's pretty dirty. But coming back here to Idaho and like seeing the mountains again, dude, seeing blue rivers. The sunsets aren't as pretty, and there's fires everywhere, but just beautiful. Seeing old people going to old restaurant. I'm going to go to Joel's after this, get some enchiladas. Dude.
I don't want to burst your bubble, dog, but they're closed.
Are you serious?
It's Sunday.
Are they like Chick-fil-A?
They're always closed.
Bro.
Joel's has always been closed on Sundays because they go to church.
Joking, bro.
I'm not even kidding, dog.
Dude.
I'm not even kidding. So let me think of something.
Deep questions. If you deepen your voice, it might make questions more deep. Why is the universe so big?
Why is the universe so big?
I don't fucking know. It's rapidly expanding, though. That shit's like getting faster. It's getting bigger, faster every second. I listen to Sean Carroll's podcasts. I'm like halfway through Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time. I've read Neil deGrasse Tyson's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. I don't like textbooks. I hate hard reads, but you find good science books where they illustrate you and tell you the story in like, what do you call it? Anecdotal evidence, where like they're telling a story to show how this thing happens. Dude, cool shit. You know what a quasar is?
No.
It's a fucking, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure a quasar is a black hole that's sucking in stuff so fast it can't suck it in, so it just emits super high energy particles out the top of it. So it's like bright. It's like a double-ended flashlight on two ends of the fucking black hole. That shit's cool as shit.
Yeah,
there's gravitational waves they detected recently where two black holes were spinning around each other at 1,000 times a second. 2 black holes, massive, dude. Like imagine how large those things are, and they're spinning around each other at 1,000 times a second. Like just.
Yeah. What do you think black
incredible.
holes are?
I don't know. So I used to have this theory, and I still think it's kind of a cool theory. I think a black hole is the end of the universe and the beginning of a new one. So I think there's a white hole somewhere. So they talk about the Big Bang, right?
Yeah.
I think a black hole is going to supersede the expansion of the universe and suck up everything in the universe.
Yeah.
And then explode. Bam, new universe. Big Bang round 2. It condenses everything into so they talk about black holes having a singularity, like an infinitesimally dense point, and everything gets sucked into there. What happens when it sucks everything up? Can't go anywhere. But they also talk about the beginning of the universe was an infinitesimally dense point with all of the energy the universe would have and all the matter and everything. And then it exploded and the universe became a thing.
I like that.
Put the two ends together, dude. It's a loop.
Yeah.
Constant loop. Black hole,
Totally.
explosion. Everything lives, everything dies. That's the purpose of life in the universe. We're not going to experience it, but I'm telling you, the point of the universe is just live and then die and then live and then die. It's constantly recirculating.
Well, like we have to. We will experience it. We are right now because
Yeah,
we're a
but
part of
that's
the
just gonna
universe.
it's been 13 billion years ago, and we're nowhere near that point.
Well, we're gonna die, obviously,
saying.
but we're gonna come back, and then like we're gonna die, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna like keep,
But it's
that
on repeat.
cycle.
Everything's a loop, bro. Everything comes back.
Totally. Well, like I've taken mushrooms before,
That's a good time.
right?
I
And
saw eyeballs.
you've done mushrooms before?
Oh yeah,
I'll take.
I saw eyeballs and shit.
Why? I didn't know
That
you
was
took.
pre Navy.
Okay. What did you?
I haven't done anything since joining the Navy. I just drink. I'm not stupid.
Okay.
It's not a good time.
Check yourself right there.
Facts,
Perfect.
dude. I'm not.
So, what was your mushroom
a
experience
career
like
now.
then?
Remember Wyatt?
Yeah.
Me and him just told each other our life stories,
Uh huh.
and then I went home, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling sick," because like right when you feel sick is right when it starts to hit you.
Yeah.
So you have like 2 hours of just high. It just feels like the best stoned of your life,
Yeah.
and then you feel like you're gonna throw up. Well, I was spitting in the toilet and I saw the bubbles swirling around. I'm like, "That's weird. I've never seen that before."
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the drywall, right, like textured just like that, and that's like making patterns and stuff. I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go." So I went. My mom was in the kitchen cooking, and she didn't know. And I was just like, "Hey, I'm not feeling good. I'm gonna go to bed." She's like, "Okay." So I went and laid down, and I had to try and fall asleep with my eyes open. That shit keeps you awake.
Oh yeah.
Every time I closed my eyes, all I saw was eyeballs, bro. That shit was terrifying. I was just
Yeah.
like, I wasn't like bad high. I was just like, this is weird. Then eventually I was just like, I can't handle this alone by myself. So I went and told my mom because she's pretty cool. I'm like, hey, mom, I'm like tripping balls and mushrooms right now.
What'd
She's
she
like-
do?
She's like, what kind of tripping balls? I was like, I keep seeing eyeballs. You know, like I'm here. I'm in the kitchen. I'm interacting. You know, I just
Yeah.
you need me a glass of milk. You know, my brother comes home and he was on leave. That was his last night there, and he's just like, he did this. He tried to fuck with me. So he you know he's just standing there and he's spinning in circles. And I saw that and I was like, what the fuck, bro? I didn't say anything though. I was just like,
Like his NPC is glitching
yeah, I
out.
didn't want to like scare my mom thinking I'm like losing my shit. I didn't want to like, you know, I also didn't know if it was real or not. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what's going on with this? I don't like this. I'm not a huge fan, not gonna lie. And then eventually my brother gets bored of doing it because he was doing it to fuck with me. I didn't know that. But he's eventually just like, no, Kelso, I'm not spinning around. What are you talking about? I'm just like, see, I didn't say shit. I knew you're pulling something on me. Get fucked. Fuck you.
Yeah, good, smart. You're a smart guy.
Very smart. That's what sucks. It's like psychedelics and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I can't envelop them just because I'm too smart and I'm overthinking everything.
Well, like with that, I would say you have to let go of that. You have to like
Open your mind. Yeah, I'm real bad at about that.
yeah, it's like going to Disneyland almost. Like you have to let go of your you have to let go of your ego. I'm sure you've heard of this, right? You got to
I
let
have a
go of the
huge one.
ego. And so like for me, like I didn't do that, but the whole reason I brought this up is because I took shrooms. One of the times I took shrooms, I was like, I've said this before, like I'm drawing and like it's a whole story, but at a part of it where I'm like, I feel like I'm like peaking, I'm like drawing and like I put down my pencil and I grab a new one and it's perfectly sharpened and beautiful and I start drawing again and I'm like drawing this like insane pattern and I put it down, grab a new one, and while I'm doing this pattern, I hear in my head, life is a cycle. Life is a cycle.
It is, bro.
Yeah,
That's what
we
we've
die.
been saying.
Yeah, we die, we are born, we die, we're born, and so like even like the universe, like we're a part of the universe, and the universe dies and it's born, and it dies and it's born, and like to me, like that's such like a comforting thought and such a scary thought, because like there's true like, and if that's like the case, it's like then there's never really an end, you know? Like how come there's like no nirvana?
So your skin dies, though, right? Like your cells die.
Yeah,
Your cells don't know that they're part of some bigger thing, which is you.
that's
They
true.
are technically living, and they do live and die. And cells split and then die and then split and then die, and they keep making new ones that you stay alive, but they don't know better. We're just a cell in the organism of the universe. It's fucking dope stuff, dude.
Mhm.
But the universe comes and goes. Then it comes and goes.
Yeah,
Crazy stuff.
That's
and every
deep.
time you die, though, like you decompose, all your atoms get put back into the earth and stuff.
yeah, like energy, like
Like Earth
energy
New Life.
cannot be taken away, you know? It just gets energy just becomes something else.
We live and die as the earth, though, right? So
Yeah.
it's like all the atoms here are recirculated.
Mhm.
We're breathing air that they breathed years ago that got cycled back through a plant and turned back into oxygen so we could breathe it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, plants grow out of other dead things. Oil is fucking like plants that got buried and then turned into oil because they decomposed. It was carbon.
Yeah.
So we use oil. That's old dead stuff. Everything gets recycled. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, I like that. And then we burn that oil, and then it goes in the air, and then plants take that, and then they
So
make new air.
Like I was saying, in the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It explodes, Big Bang. If that is the case, I don't know. I wasn't there, but it explodes, and if that's the case, it creates all the matter that's in the universe now, and it condenses into meteors and stars and planets and shit, and then black hole sucks everything up. Bam, new Big Bang. I'm telling you, it's a cycle. That's how it goes. That's what happens.
Totally.
I haven't been there. I'm not gonna be there, but I'm telling you, that's what's up.
I like that. Why do you not like religion?
People are trying to put purpose where necessarily there might not be there. They don't have any proof. They have this book that's been rewritten 6 times, you know, and they fight over that shit. Like the Crusades are fucking horrible. A plague comes around and like, oh my God, like this horrible plague is killing everybody. Let's pray to the gods. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Maybe don't hug your dying grandmother who also has the plague, and then you might not get it. Something like that. Stay away. Kind of like COVID. Don't pray to God that COVID goes away. It's like God put that here. If God does exist, he did that shit. You're not going to pray to him. He's going to be like, oh, yeah, you know what? I did kind of fuck up there. Let me take that back. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. Religion just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. I just think people bring it to their life. I think it can be, people in prison change their ways. People who are crazy and maybe not in a good spot change their ways, because I think there's good things to it. I just think it's kind of fucking dumb.
You should totally listen to Frank's episode.
I will listen to Frank's episode.
Because he says it so well. But like one of the things that he says that like truly like blows my mind almost, it says like Christianity has only been
Frank the Satanist guy?
He's a Luciferian, not a Satanist. He doesn't believe in Satan.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah. Well, now you'll learn. That's like the whole point.
Between Christians and Catholics. Go to 2 different churches. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, like he's like so like what a Luciferian is like someone that he believes in forces. He definitely believes in like spirits and like higher entities and shit like that. But he doesn't believe in like heaven or hell or Satan or God. He believes in the power of yourself and like the intention and intuition and what you can do for yourself and the power of your thoughts and like the power of you. And it's like one of the things he says is he's like, Christianity has only been around for like 2021 years, right?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
What about all the people before that where they just banished to hell because
Neanderthals didn't believe in God? Why weren't they smited down?
Well, like that's the thing. If God loves all, but he like makes it so like these people couldn't even know about God because Jesus wasn't here. Are they just banished to hell by default because they don't even know who God is?
The Crusades, you have a different God. That's not our God. You have the wrong God. We're going to kill you because of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is the holy ground. This is where God is, and you don't believe in him, so you shouldn't have it.
Totally.
It's fucking dumb.
But I'll say this though is like,
I don't mean to I'm kind of like almost on the offensive against religion. That's not how I normally am. Like, I'm not offensive. Like, if someone comes up to me and they're just like, I'm a good Christian person, I'm just like, cool, do your fucking thing. I'll do mine. I don't really care. It's just, if you really want to talk to me about it, I will tell you what I think, and I think it's pretty fucking dumb.
Whole point of the podcast, dog.
I love podcasts. I listen to a lot of them.
Whole point, sharing your thoughts and what you believe.
So you ever done DMT? Sorry,
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, bro.
I have not done DMT.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
That's so funny. That's hilarious. But I don't know. I will definitely say that there's something going on, dog. There's something like we are not meat sacks on a rock in the vacuum of space to get sucked into the black hole.
I think things are definitely awfully coincidental. It's pretty sus.
For me, like, since you brought this kind of up, the reason why I asked you, like, has it changed you as a person? Because for me, like, I was the same way. Like, you're a lot smarter than I am, but I'm a lot more artistic than you are.
Well, that's
right?
objective. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could draw. Like, I'm all over the place. I'm really good at math. I have really good memory. So, like, history and stuff I'm really good at. But if you want me to interpret someone's poem, like, why did he say the curtains are blue? English teacher's going to be like, oh, it's because he's depressed. Another English teacher's going to be like, he loves the color blue because he misses the ocean. That's where his mom died or something on a ship. It's like, no, dude, the fucking curtains are blue. I don't know why they wrote it in the poem. It's kind of a dumb thing to write. Maybe he's just setting the exposition. But I don't know what you're looking into. The fucking curtains are blue.
Yeah.
I prefer red curtains. I think that shit's dumb. But people say I'm smart. Objectively, maybe I am. I got a pretty good score on the SAT. I got a pretty good score on the ASVAB. I qualified to be a nuclear operator. I'm just good at math, bro. But I can draw pretty well. I do portraits and shit. I'm all over the place. However, I've met people that are astronomically smarter than I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it really puts stuff into perspective when you're in a small town high school and you're super smart. But then you meet someone like Adele.
Yeah.
Dude, she learned Cantonese over a summer because she was bored. Like,
what even is that?
it's a English. It's a Asian dialect like Chinese.
Oh wow.
Extremely hard language to know.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do that shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
don't pit yourself up against someone else.
Totally.
So you think about stuff I've never thought about before. That's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Totally. We're all so different. It's like that's what makes me think like we're all so different. Like we're not like there's no people that are the same. And like for me, like that's just so crazy to think that we're just nothing, right? Nothing matters. There's no point of consciousness. There's no point of.
And you don't want that to be true either. Like you want there to be purpose.
Yeah, like for
Which
existence and experience, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just out here. I'm good at math. I
Yeah,
want to be a math teacher one day, maybe.
because like it is hard to like understand, obviously, but it's like why do like some people, you know, why do some people die in a car crash today when they were about to go like DMX, right?
Yeah.
Like DMX is about to release a super cool album, right? And he's done cocaine his whole life, but right when he's about to release his like bring back album, he dies of cocaine overdose. You know, like
Shit
why
happens.
is that? You know?
Shit happens.
And so like for me, like
Rip Juice, Rip X. X died on my 17th birthday. You were there. I was thrown up in the bathroom. You poked your head in, and you're like, bro, XXXTentacion just died.
was I there?
I was just like, well, I was at Azena's. And I'm like, well, that's sad. I'm going to continue throwing up this Pendleton whiskey now.
I don't remember that. That's so funny though. I kind of remember that, honestly. I remember like
June 18th, 2018, bro.
oh no, I remember. No, I'm just kidding. I just think everything happens for a reason, you know, because like for me, like I got in law trouble too, with when it came to marijuana and pot, and you know I was the same way. Like I smoked weed every single second of my life, and I didn't give a shit about school, and like I graduated, but then like after like that summer after high school, all I did was just like work and smoke weed, and like being like I'm gonna do that shit tomorrow.
But that's a good time, bro. Like, it sucks, but like, bro, if I could take it back, dude.
It is a good time. I miss it. I totally miss it. You know, I totally miss like getting fucked up with your friends, hanging out, and like I've gone on this podcast and like
it's experiences you have to have.
Yeah, I've gone on this podcast and like demonized alcohol and make it sound like I'm a fucking square that hates alcohol, but like I just hate alcoholism, not alcohol.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know,
dude, I fucking Wine Fest up on Schweitzer the other day. I was on an empty stomach. I had somebody grab me a sour beer because I'm only 20, you know. So they grabbed me a sour. I had one beer on an empty stomach. And I'm like, this feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a nice, just like buzz, you know. But you get too into it and you're just shit faced drunk all the fucking time, completely incapable of doing anything. That's too far.
I say that use drugs to forget about your problems, not to deal with your problems.
True. Yeah, it's like a momentary relief.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you should use to get away from it all the time.
But the whole point of that was just like I had to have that experience of, you know, being in trouble with the law and stop smoking weed to realize like there's more to life than this. Like you got to get your shit together, dog. Like you got to
smoke pot in a small town your whole life.
Exactly. You got to like buck up. You got to like put the work in and like move towards something. Get, you know, have passion, have goals. Because if you just smoke weed your whole life and don't do anything, like to me, like that is like not living a purposeful life, at least from my perspective.
But when you have the opportunity, like when I'm 65 and retired and my IRAs hit so I can finally pull the money out of them, they fucking like expired shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I will 100% be some 65-year-old dude that's just living in the suburbs. I got grandkids that come over, and when they're not over, I'm just smoking fucking pot in the back room. I'm just smoking pot in the back room, playing some computer game that came out in 2003 or some shit.
Yeah.
That everybody's like, what the fuck is this? You know, they got flying cars and shit. And I was like, bro, I'm just smoking pot playing a computer game.
I'm just playing Skyrim, dog.
Dude.
Chilling.
Dude, I put so many hours in it. It's such a good game.
I totally relate to that. I totally like, I want to do the same shit. Like right now, I don't like do anything just because like, whatever. I don't know. I just don't want to for now when it comes to like determination and goals and motivation. But eventually when I do and when I'm done, all said's done, I'm like, I feel like I've succeeded and done everything I want to do in my life.
I'm going to add revenue off this podcast.
Exactly. Like I want to have a fucking farm and grow my own tobacco, grow my own weed, grow my own foods, wake up at the crack of dawn, do some farmer shit, you know, milk the cows, pluck the hay, have my own tobacco, mainly tobacco.
You gotta get a coffee farm, bro. Too.
Yeah, totally.
Caffeine and nicotine go hand in hand. I can't,
Yes.
dude. If you join the Navy, you're guaranteed. Like, stay away from it as long as you can, but it will catch you. You will be addicted to caffeine and nicotine. And that is how you get through the day. You work 12-hour day.
Yeah.
I was running off of 1 meal a day and 2 bangs a day for the past year and a half. The
That's
entire time in
crazy,
South
dog.
Carolina, it's 2 bangs and 1 meal. That's how I run my life. I've lost 15 pounds, and it's not a good thing, but that's what gets me through the fucking day.
Yeah. I love me some caffeine. I'll give you that.
I'm drinking a Red Bull right fucking now.
Yeah, I got a white coffee right here.
Mm.
I have stopped nicotine though. I haven't used
Fucking
nicotine
loser.
since like March. That's just because, like I said, like I want to grow my own tobacco.
Don't you want to be a cool kid?
No, I don't. I don't want to be a cool
Peer
kid.
pressure.
I want to be the coolest kid and have my own tobacco leaves and grow them on a farm with my
Roll
dog.
blunts.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Roll my own blunts with like the weed and tobacco I grew, not like some big corporation
Facts.
give me. Like who knows what? Like they put some crazy shit.
Pesticides and
Yeah.
preservatives.
Like I went to Winter Ridge the other day and I bought a nice juicy steak and like asparagus and corn, and I made all that shit, and like that was the best meal I've ever had because
I
there's
love
just
to cook. I just never do it.
there's just like no preservatives in that kind of shit. What kind of stuff do you like to
But
cook?
how expensive is that? Because it's organic.
Way expensive.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna. I could go to McDuff's and
Yeah.
it's like processed, probably. I don't know. It's good food,
Oh yeah,
and it's like $12 for a burger and a side of fries
Yeah.
and a fucking Dr Pepper or something.
that shit was like, I think that shit was like $25.
Shit gets me. Damn. And you had to do it yourself too, bro. I tip heavier for the service because I'm not paying for organic stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go over to what's that? What's the soup place down there? Like the sandwich shop.
Sandpoint
Ridiculous.
Organics.
Ridiculous.
Oh, Spuds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculously expensive. Spuds and the place right next to it. It's all like organic and everything. Ridiculously expensive. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go there because the food was grown on a farm nearby here. I don't give a shit where the food's from. It's food, you know.
At the end of the day, like with everything we just like in the past like 10 minutes talked about, the end of the day, you only live once. So just like do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm gonna get cancer.
You know? Yeah,
So might
you
as well
work
send it.
you work on a oil or nuclear plant, right? So like of course you're gonna get
I ate
cancer.
Panda Express and McDonald's yesterday.
There you
I
go.
am not
dog.
the prime human being, bro.
But at the same time though, like you're in the military, dog. You're jacked. Like I can see it. You're fucking jacked.
I'm really not. I'm only like 150. I've lost like 15 pounds, bro.
Like you're not like the biggest motherfucker on the planet.
I'm fit.
But yeah, you're fit. You like your body is like Navy proof, you know? Like I still got little man boobies on me, you know, because I don't
Girls like that shit.
girls like the
Something
million
to hold at
boobs.
night, bro. I'm a twig. You get a little too close into the spooning, you can feel my pelvis. I don't like that shit.
Fair
Don't want
enough,
that.
dog. Fair enough.
To each his own.
Everything you've been through in life, everything we've discussed, what advice would you give somebody?
Learn from other people. So like I've had my dad, he's a horrible fucking person. I'm never gonna do that shit. That's stupid. I'm not gonna rob banks and end up in prison. You know? It's fucking stupid. Don't do stuff like that. So I learned from him. I also learned that I'm never gonna leave my kids because it affects them traumatically. But I'm also never gonna be poor. I will be successful. Because I grew up in a poor home, and that fucking sucks. Seeing my mom like struggle with anxiety and stuff and not be able to like really be a parent. I mean, she's a great mom. But you know, and then I lived with Wendy and it's like super stable. I'm like, holy shit. Like the difference is amazing. So I will be successful for my kids' sake, and I'm going to have something to pass down on to them, you know? So learn from other people's mistakes. Learn from mine. Don't get a fucking pot charged at 14 because you sold pot at high school. Don't do that. I taught my sisters not to do that. They're not going to do that, you know? Learn from other people's mistakes and grow and be successful, because history is cyclical and you can't let it do that because you're just going to put yourself in the same situation. So learn from other people's mistakes. Learn from your own mistakes. You do something that didn't work, you know? You have a failed relationship. Take something away from that. I didn't communicate very well. Figure it the fuck out. But also do what makes you happy. So don't look at someone who's successful and happy and has everything made out for them and do exactly what they did, because that's not you. You know, they did that to be successful themselves. You got to do something different. So be yourself. Do what you got to do. Go be a ski bum for a little bit. I don't give a shit. Do what makes you happy. Be a contributing part of society and learn from your mistakes. That's like my biggest piece of advice. And don't join the Navy.
Don't join the Navy.
Especially don't join the Navy if you're dumb.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's like, oh, dumb people join the military. I'm very smart. I'm in the military, and I deal with those dumb people, and oh, dude.
I feel like that is a misconception. Is I feel
It should be legal to slap people. Just slap the shit out of people.
I feel like a lot of people just think like, well, I can just go in the military. But I mean, tell me about it. Like, how
there's a
hard
lot
is
of
it?
fucking money in the military.
Yeah,
I'm getting like $100,000 in bonuses within 2 years.
that's crazy. That's a lot of cash, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta go like as soon as you get out of the military, you have to go travel.
Oh, I'm going to in the Navy. That's the other thing. I joined the Navy, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on a carrier stopping in foreign ports. Did it stop recording again?
No, it's about to die though. Keep talking.
You know, I get to go explore and visit places and meet new people, incredible people, and do stuff. So, joining the Navy is a great option. You just have to weigh your options. Cost benefit analysis all the time.
Yeah.
I hate the Navy, but I'm re-enlisting because it's cost benefit analysis. I re-enlist, I make rank, I get paid a little bit more, and I get to live off base. Cost benefit analysis. 2 years is definitely worth $60,000. You know what I'm saying? Because I only make 24 a year right now.
$60,000. That's a lot of cash flow.
$60,000 on top of what I'm making.
Yeah.
And when I re-enlist, I make more money, so I'm probably making closer to 28. So I get like 2 years of free fucking salary.
What are you gonna do after the You gotta go to college or not college? You gotta go travel, dog. Where do you want to go travel?
I don't know. I could study abroad, but I might lose citizenship if I do that.
Maybe.
I don't know. But then again, like by the time I get out of the Navy, I don't know. I know where I'm going to be in 6 years. I could find a woman that I love and have a wife, and then maybe she gets pregnant and I have kids right when I'm getting out of the Navy. Maybe I get out of the Navy and I'm going to college and then I decide to have kids. You know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'd like to think that, I'm definitely taking a hell of a vacation. I want to go to Australia. I want to spend a lot of time in Australia.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to go to Bali.
Uh-huh.
Because it's super cheap. The most expensive thing to Bali is the flight.
Mm-hmm.
Everything there is super cheap. Connor Baranski talks about his trip to Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
That was super cool. I want to go experience stuff. But
Yeah.
also, I love to sit in my house and play video games. You know what I'm saying? So I might not do that.
No, you have to. You have to, dog.
I don't know.
That's like the number one thing I've heard from everyone is you have when you're young and you have money to spend.
But I'm going to be a grown-ass man because I've been in the military. Like, I had a career, and then now you want me to go travel and do nothing.
Well, you have so much money. You can either, I don't know, I guess this is just more perspective-wise. For me, next year, I'm going to go to Europe. I'm planning my trip right now. I'm going to go to Iceland.
Dude.
Iceland's fucking tits, dude. I really, I don't know why, but I've always just loved
Cultural
Iceland.
Anthropology with Connor Baranski. We learned about Iceland and stuff. Dude.
Iceland's so cool.
That's cool stuff.
I'm going to go to Iceland. And then I got to think of where else I want to go. The number one place though I do want to go 100% is Auschwitz. I'm definitely going to go there.
Eye-opening.
What?
That'll be eye-opening.
Oh yeah. Crazy shit, dog.
They're super stringent with the rules there from what I've heard.
What does with your dad, right? What does forgiveness mean to you?
I don't forgive him.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not going to. I just forget him. Because, that's something you can't forgive, you know? He fucked up my whole life. He ran my mom bankrupt. I can't just be like, I understand you did what you did, but that's okay. No, fuck that. I'm not going to hold a grudge. I'm not pissed at him every day. Maybe I'll get old and forgive him. I don't want to see him again, though. He kind of fucked my whole shit up. Mm-hmm. He's the reason my life wasn't as awesome as it could have been. I could have been pretty fucking successful. My mom working at a hospital and stuff, and then owned a house. That could have changed everything. But then again, I wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard to forgive people. I'm not a very forgiving person necessarily, but I also don't hold grudges forever. Forgiveness, though, is just being we had this issue and now we don't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing, though, is you have an issue and it's resolved, or maybe it's just been so long that you're just it's done and over with, and now we can still continue to be friends and two people. Maybe we don't interact with each other because of that, but that's all right. Just don't burn bridges.
Yeah,
There's
that.
people that I came back home and it's just I kind of burned some bridges before I left for the Navy. I come back home and I'm like, wow, that was a cool person, but I can't go see them because I was kind of an asshole.
I always say that forgiveness is not becoming a victim.
Facts.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I can see where that's coming from.
Thanks, dog. Came up with that.
Damn.
YOLO swag.
Dude, big brain shit.
Big brain, big
So
brain.
smart.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about, Kelso? Anything that like fascinates you that I should know about?
Space is cool. Look at that shit.
Space is cool.
Quantum mechanics are cool. They don't really matter, but that's just cool.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that happens. Don't worry too much about politics.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry too much about politics. Like I didn't vote in the last election. I'm in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm in the military and I'm owned by the government. I don't give a shit what the government does. Like, they're gonna do what they do. And you have a voice. You should use it if you like really disagree with something. But like, when I grab a ballot, I'm just gonna like look at it, be like, oh, that's what this is, and I either agree or disagree, and I just do it. I'm not worried about it. My mom watches the news every day. Don't be a worrying person. Don't give a shit about stuff that you can't control. That's huge. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, thank you for your time, Kelso.
Thank you for having me on.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to follow my social media accounts for news and updates on future episodes. Links will be down below.